Greetings, this is Beyond Aliens and Occult again. Today I wanted to talk about a special subject briefly that's been bothering me, or more than bothering me, it's been making me curious. And because I'm kind of, I probably sound crazy even for you guys that are into these topics, the weird stuff, anomalies of reality, life, and the metaphysical. But I've discovered recently, the past month, that there seems to be like some time loop anomaly, like some weird butterfly effect in reality. I don't know if you noticed it, but for me, it started with this woman I started to talk to on a site that we both been members on for many years. And we started communicating over PM, and we became friends quite fast, and we had so much in common, and there was so much synchronicity, with numbers. With everything we wrote was so much numbers and synchronicity, and of course we started getting interest in each other, and eventually everything got messed up with communication. It was like some force trying to separate us. We couldn't keep the contact, and everything felt weird, and we grew apart, and we're still talking with each other occasionally, through PMs and SMS on the phones. But the thing is that we are, it's like some forces keeping us at bay, like we seem to not, our messages don't reach each other, and it's like it's glitched up, and it's not just between me and her anymore. It's between. It seems to happen in everything. I noticed it in life in general with people. It's not just me and her anymore. It's everything and everyone. So at first I thought it was some kind of, maybe it's interdimensional beings getting in the way, or some other forces that are trying to keep me, isolated, or her isolated. And because targeted individuals that are dealing with these intelligences are always isolated from their surroundings, from other people's relationships, friends, partners. And I had this happen to me before. I know they interfere, so I was assumed at first that they were interfering in this relationship, and now I'm starting to think that there's some weird time anomaly happening with a loop, because I'm starting to see not, that just the glitches when I talk to people. It's the communication is more like I'm starting to see, on Facebook the same, when people post an event, or on their logs they post, like a status update. I'm starting to see the same updates appear, like it's a news, like it's a new, something new, several times in a row. Like I've seen the same person on my friend list make the same post like 2 or 3 times, and it appears on my Facebook, notifications, like it's news, to me, but it's not, because I've seen it many times. And it's getting weird. It's happening on other YouTube channels I have, on social media in general. It shows me the same notifications as it happened just recently, or the same day, but it hasn't happened the same day. It keeps reoccurring. It's like a loop, Has this happened to you? That the listener here, that you're experiencing the same events several times, in a row. Often it seems to be related mostly to the internet, the phenomenon. So it's happened many times now, not just on YouTube or Facebook. I've seen it on my Instagram too. And on other channels, I always have like a myriad of comments. I don't know where they end up, that are just out of nowhere, or shown out of when I look on a video, and it wasn't there in the last time I checked. Now they're there, and there's no notification of it ever being there. It's like Mandela effect glitches 24/7 now, and a time loop on top of that. I know it sounds psychotic, but I'm not psychotic. I'm just good at spotting patterns. I'm autistic, so I always see patterns and everything, including life and events, So it's like there's a pattern here. It seems to be some glitching up of reality and a loop at the same time, some anomaly. And I started noticing it when I started talking to my former the girl I was we were interested in that I still talk to her occasionally, but our communication is like we get our response back like once every month, and so uh, it's all started with her for me. So I guess everything is connected to string theory, and in that sense, we are all connected, and everything overlaps and interlaps my English sometimes, but everything seems to be intertwined and overlapping in life. People are connected that we don't know how they are connected through time and space and events and timelines, but it's interesting. But I'm seeing the pattern more than ever now, these time loops and glitches and constant Mandela effects, even in the internet. And I wonder what's really going on. Reality is trying to realign itself to one optimal truth or pattern that is supposed to be the most accurate version of reality at the moment. Some present now, maybe the present need to change into something that's supposed to be, and it's not. It hasn't happened yet. So past and future is constantly being rewritten and realigning the present to fit into the final the final version or something. That's what theory I have. It's being completely, it gets constantly, being altered. The present. It's weird because I see the pattern. I see the glitches and anomalies everywhere, constantly happen. I wonder if it's happened to you who's listening here. Are you experiencing the same, insanity with kind of time loops and seeing your communication with people being messed up, Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but I've been keeping a close check on this, and it's been happening for a long time for me. It's like I'm seeing it now happen so blatantly, so obviously. It's just I don't know what to say. To me, it's clear and obvious, but I just hope that somebody else is experiencing it too. So I don't sound completely crazy, even for the topics like this that normally people consider crazy. But I know I can't be alone, because my the female friend I'm talking about, she experienced all of this too, the weird communications, errors and glitches. I was wondering if somebody watching this is experiencing the same thing. I also wanted to add that I've seen like some synchronicity from the universe lately. That's crazy. That keep seeing women that look, the same, like a mold, some kind of design by the universe. It's like the same type of appearance. They are usually the same height. They have the red hair, dyed red hair, and they seem different in overall. Like my friend I mentioned earlier, she's a red hair woman. She dyes her hair, like the red blood red color, like the red, the gothic red, like a goth basically. And my ex-wife had that same hair color. She dyed it red, blood red. And I've been running into a woman in my town constantly everywhere. Like it's getting crazy. I'm even getting paranoid that she might think I'm stalking her. Since I'm a big, wide, muscular dude. I look angry too because I have resting bitch face. I'm a big, angry-looking dude. Uh, so even though I'm not angry, I just look that way. So probably my autistic resting face, But I've been running into her everywhere, and she has that appearance too, and it's getting me. I'm feeling, unnerved by it, because it's some weird synchronicity by the universe, like trying to put people together with a certain appearance, a certain life, a certain style. I don't know nothing about her life, but It's the whole thing that I'm running into the type of women that has that style and appearance. I know it's not just a single guy that's desperate, and I see my ex-wife in everyone because I've never gotten over her. All of that lonely, miserable, divorced guy stuff. It's some pattern from the universe now. It's obvious to me. It's not just any of that. It's some kind of pattern. I'm seeing it, and I've seen a lot of people that show up in my life that communicates with me that are very, into the esoteric and have a certain type of personality. So I believe synchronicity is being played out like crazy now too in my life. Apart from this looping glitch and things that keep repeating themselves, like I mentioned. So just wanted to add that. Thanks for listening, and if you have experienced this yourself, please leave a comment and tell me about it. I would love to hear your own opinions and your own experiences on this topic, so I feel less alone with my craziness and my crazy thoughts about reality and what I'm experiencing. So this was Beyond Aliens and Occult. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.